Hi, I was on ChexTV Morning Show this morning talking about apps that help you control your time, and I just didn't talk about everything I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Pulse. That brings all of your SMS and your text messages together in one place. It's awesome. So I can, in the cloud, whether it's on my cell or on my laptop, I can reply to text messages all in one place, so I'm not missing anything because it is so busy. I like it in one place. And what's really cool is I can schedule a message. I can actually go here and schedule a message into the future. So say I know I'm out and about today and I need to send someone a text message at around 3 o'clock to remind them about something, and maybe I want to do it again tomorrow, I can do that. And I think the way I'm able to do so much is because of reminders to myself and to others when I thought about it on my way back from the interview. So basically, if I look at my Google Calendar, it's pretty busy, right? We have a lot going on. So how do I know this next meeting I'm going to, that same person who I'm meeting with, do they remember it's going to happen? When I set up a meeting, one of the things I do on my Google Calendar, which is so important to me, is when I set up a meeting, I'll set up the time, I'll invite the guests, but the biggest thing that I do is their default is that they're going to remind you 10 minutes before the meeting that the meeting's happening. Well, what I like to do is I add a couple more reminders. I will send an email 2 days before the meeting, letting them know it's going to happen. And then what I do in the description is I remind them what we're doing at the meeting and what they need to bring and what I need to bring. What does that do? It reminds me what I'm doing at the meeting and what I need to bring, and it reminds them as well. And I select a color. If you go to my calendar, you'll see all these different colors in it all the time, and that's because my husband and I, who's my business partner and my husband, we use the same calendars. And as you can see on the side, we have calendars for everything on Google, so we both are able to help each other stay organized, and we know what each other's doing and making sure we give each other enough time to do what it is we need to do well. Another tool I use that I absolutely love is Smartsheets. With my Smartsheets, I can have all sorts of different people part of the Smartsheets, remind them that they're doing something, they enter their hours, we indicate when this Smartsheet item they're working on needs to be completed. We put passwords in there. Every client that we have has a Smartsheet. What's really cool is my Smartsheet, I have it actually showing up also. All these pink ones, they're from my Smartsheet. So it also goes to my one Google Calendar, which is so awesome. So when I put it out there the other day as to what other tools do people use, my friend Brenda Stonehouse came back and said, hey, we use this thing called Trello. Well, it was really cool when I went on to the morning show this morning. Global, who owns ChexTV, also use Trello globally for all of their kind of activities that need to have collaboration. So it's a tool I'm going to look at. It's very visual. I'm a list person, so I love Smartsheets. It'll actually turn it into a list. It'll turn it into a critical path. It'll sync it to my Google Maps, to my Google Calendars, which I love. But Trello seems to be something that a lot of people that I respect are using, so I look forward to taking a peek at it. It looks like it's collaboration, and it looks like it's got reminders, so it looks pretty cool. It looks like you're putting up your images on there, and you're team-based, and what's really cool, it's very visual. So what else do I like? Well, hello. Hey Google, what time is it? I mean, Google and I live together, right? Thank you. So I asked Google to remind me about appointments. I'll say, hey Google, remind me in 20 minutes I have to leave. So it'll remind me in 20 minutes. It'll say, hey, okay, so thank you, no problem. It reminds me that I need to do something, which is pretty cool. Okay, so I'm on my husband's Google right now. Okay, stop talking to me, Google. Oh my goodness. Okay, he told me I needed to confirm my voice with Google, and I haven't done that yet. So I can set a reminder and actually have it go to my calendar, or I can just set an alarm and just have it have an alarm for me. What's really cool is if I'm going somewhere and I don't know exactly how to get there and I'm running late, I don't have time to put in my GPS, I ask Google, what's my next appointment? It tells me, and it sends me an email with where I'm going, which is really cool. So it's just fantastic. Did you know if you're downtown somewhere like Toronto or a larger city that has Uber, when you go on your cell phone and you say, okay, how do I get from Union Station to Sheridan Center, which is where I was last week all week, it not only brings up how to get there on transit when the next TTC bus or the subway is coming by, or how to walk there, it also has the Uber icon comes up, and it tells you exactly where the next Uber driver is. I mean, that's pretty cool. Talk about integration. So that was delightful when that was there, because I was running late between appointments, meeting people for dinners and lunches in between, then coming back to appointments. So having all of my options, knowing when the next TTC bus was coming by or when the next Uber was come by, was pretty cool. But what about, Google Home that I was talking about? Sure, it's in the room, and it'll tell me everything I need to know about my own calendar. It'll tell me everything I need to know about world news, but it's also going to be integrated to your appliances soon. So you'll be able to put a different device in every room if you want to. But what's really cool is you can control your lights. You can tell it to start your laundry. If you're like me, you do your laundry and you forget about it. 3 days later, you got all these wet clothes. I'd rather instead, no, I'm going to be home for a couple of hours, so I'm going to ask Google to start my laundry. So I'll put it in there ahead of time, and then I'll ask Google to start my laundry at 6 o'clock on my way home, so it's done by the time I get there, until I teach Duke to actually put the laundry from the washer into the dryer. So I guess I probably have to be there to do that part right now. But there's so many things that's going to help me do. It's going to help me look at my my security cameras. It'll help me watch my puppies. It'll help me start the vacuum if I need to, start the dryer if I need to. It'll do all sorts of other things. It'll help me look in my fridge and see what I'm missing on my way home so that I can actually go shopping. So those things aren't there for everybody right now, the Google integrated appliances, but they are on the market. They are now on the market. There's a lot of different appliances that you can now connect your Google Home to. So there's so many things I wanted to talk about. When's the last time you're at the bank? We haven't been at the bank in ages. Again, my husband and I, we're both we're husband and wife, but we're also, this is a family-run business, so he does all the banking. I'll bring home a check, or he'll bring home a check, and we don't go to the bank. We just, we take a picture of it through our cell phone, and that goes right into the bank. It's pretty awesome, so it's pretty cool. So I just wanted to say all of that earlier on Chex, but I just enjoyed talking to Teresa and Dan so much I didn't get to all the elements I wanted to talk about. So that was what I wanted to talk about. Some of the productivity tools that we have out there that you really need to use. I don't know, I would be definitely dead without using my Google Calendar properly, where I'm going to not only schedule something, but then send the reminders out to everybody with the information and the attachments they need for those meetings ahead of time. I feel that people that aren't using this are always in panic mode. We're not in panic mode. We always look like we've got all the time in the world because we're organized. It really is all about taking a step back. I happen to do it Sunday nights and plan my week. Send myself reminders, send other people reminders as to what's going on, and it's a lot more calming that way. I put everything into a list so it gets done. I have my own, each client has a list, everything I do has a list, every video I create has a list. So it's really important to do, and then I have reminders going out to people that are supposed to be giving me something that I need prior to me doing it so that it can get done. So help yourself out and use some of these tools. Pulse has been great, being able to do all of my text messaging and direct messaging in one location, so I don't have to. My husband's always reminding me to shut down for now. So he probably, for all I know, he's got that as an automated message going out to me every day. Who knows? But so that's about it. I hope that helps.